The Garden and the Gardener. Delight of my eyes, Mr. Z. Shazar, who fights and struggles to inherit the good life of the tzaddik, who awakens from sleep all the people who sleep away their lives, through the stories of the earliest years, from where all 70 faces of the Torah are drawn. Happy is your portion that you merited to this, peace and good life. There is a true tzaddik who merits to live a good life that lacks nothing, and he precisely looks as though he is deaf, since he does not hear any sound of this world. For all the sounds of this world are only from deficiencies, and for each one shouts about what he lacks. And even all the joys in the world are only because of a deficiency that was lacking and now is filled up, and therefore he is called deaf, because to him this world does not count at all, that he should listen to its deficiencies. And his good life is bread and water. But in his bread and water you can sense all the tastes and all the sense and all the sights of the world, until you can live through them a good life in truth, without any deficiency. There is a garden in which grow fruit and wonderful plants that have all the tastes and all the smells and all the sights of the world, and the whole world could live a truly good life through this garden. And over this garden is a gardener, whom they call a gardner, that is a holy and supreme tzaddik, who is appointed over it and tries always to fix the garden. And sometimes, because of the sin of the generation, the gardener is lost, meaning that the light of this tzaddik is hidden and concealed, and the world cannot merit to know about him, that he is the gardener through whom they could all live a truly good life in the garden. And even though this gardener goes and says that he is the gardener, the world considers him insane, God forbid, and throws stones at him and banishes him, and therefore obviously he cannot work at repairing the garden. And because of this, everything that is in that garden certainly must come to an end and cease, since there is no one in charge there, meaning the gardener. And behold, even though certainly there are remarkable tzaddikim who have great wealth and great treasures of spirituality, and they also boast that they live the good life, even so the ruination of the blemished ones of the world can damage even for them the taste and the smell and the other things mentioned above, and all the more so they do not have the strength to fix the world and to return to them the good life that they could live through the holy garden mentioned above. And therefore, when, when also their good life is ruined, then their whole rectification is through the tzaddik of the greatest level, who is the aspect of death, who lives a good life that has no deficiency at all, and he gives to them to taste from his bread and water, and they sense in them all the taste, etc. And also through this that which was damaged for them is repaired, and this tzaddik can repair also the good life of the whole world. And he informs them that the main damage of their good life come to them from the bad traits that the Satan put into them, meaning that since they do not have truth and they corrupt judgment and they turn their faces and take bribes, through this their vision is damaged, and through obscene, literally dead and rotten language their taste is damaged, so that all tastes have the taste of dead flesh, and through sexual immorality, literally, God forbid, their smell is ruined. And he warns them greatly to purify themselves from these sins, and then not only are their taste and vision and smell repaired, but also they merit through this to find the lost gardener, and then the tzaddikim mentioned above admit the truth and tell the world that the whole rectification of the above mentioned tzaddikim themselves and also the rectification of the whole world depends only on the deaf tzaddik.